The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
Hello and welcome to Cowboys Storyline presented by Gillette. It is Wednesday, October the 8th. I'm Nick Eatman. Let's talk Cowboy football, Cowboys and Panthers. If you want to talk about the Jets, go right ahead. That was a fun game. We'll talk about it for a couple more days if you want to. But moving forward, Carolina, Rico Dowdle, he said buckle up. I don't know if Kalen Carson's going to be out there. You know, he's the seatbelt. I don't think he is, but I think the Cowboys will be ready to go for Rico Dowdle. And not to say that he won't be effective, but I do think the Cowboys' run defense is better than what Miami showed, and we'll see what kind of game it is. I know this: Miami scored. What did they score? 24 points. I think the way Carolina's defense is, Cowboys are positioned to score more than that. So the more that they score, the harder it's going to be for Carolina to stay in their run game. That's going to be the key. But I got to give them credit. They were down 17-0. The Panthers were to the Dolphins and still had a 200-yard rusher. That's not easy to do. A lot of times people try to change what they're doing, so they stuck to that. So they're going to run the football, see if the Cowboys can stop it. Let's go to the phone lines, 888-855-2297. Pete is in Connecticut. He's first off. What's up, Pete?
Hey, Nick, how are you today?
Great. How are you?
Good. I was just wondering what your thoughts were on trying to re-sign George Pickens and Javonte Williams before the season's over. All right. Thank you so much for taking my call. Have a good day.
Thank you. I'm sure you were on hold a lot longer than the call. Appreciate that. Quick calls, good questions. My thoughts on getting those guys done early. Well, we all know George Pickens' agent's the same agent as Micah Parsons, so it's not going to be easy. The more he keeps catching touchdowns, and the more, not only is he making plays, but he's the number one receiver right now. And so I don't know if CD will be back this week. I would think he probably would not be. So that's another week where he's the number one guy, and the money that they're looking at is to be the number one guy. So I have a hard time thinking that they're not going to try to play this out. And right now the asking price is probably really high. So I don't know if I would sign him. If you could get a deal, sure, but I don't think you're going to. As for Javonte Williams, no, I wouldn't sign anybody right now. Just let's let this thing play out and see. It's a good 5 games for both of them, but that's the kind of stuff that's got the Cowboys in trouble in the past. Not to say the bottom's about to drop out for either one of those guys, but let's just play it out. You don't have to do anything. I just wouldn't be in a hurry. It feels like around here, just the luck the Cowboys have, every time they sign a guy, he gets hurt the next year or he misses games. I mean, you just go back and look at the last 5 or 6 years. Even Dak's first contract, he got hurt with a thumb injury. So after a big contract, it's not going well with this team as far as them not, missing games and whatever. You can even say Kevontae Turpin this year. So I just wouldn't. You don't have to. I wouldn't. And I don't think you're going to get a deal out of it. That's the thing. If you were going to get a deal and go, why don't you just lock him up now? But I don't think that's going to happen. So therefore, I wouldn't. Good question. It's a good thought, but the way it's all, the dynamics of it, it just doesn't seem to make the most sense to do that right now. Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Hey, Nick. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Man, my kid and I had a great time Sunday. That's for dang sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the best time of my life, you get it. You have kids, lots of them, right?
I've never watched a Cowboy game with them. So
that sucks, man.
So I don't know.
We had hot wings. He had Fanta soda, and I had a beer. And we had hot wings and watched football. It was a great day.
That does sound like a good time and a good win. What's up, man?
I'm going to ask one question because you were just talking about it. It really made me wonder, and I've thought about it before and haven't asked. With David Mulugheta being the same age, and is that going to throw a wrench in the gears?
Yes.
You can answer that one later, you think?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I think so too, right? I'm like, damn, this guy's going to be like, screw you, dude. I'm not dealing with you, Jerry. He's going to go move on.
Well, I wouldn't say that. You said throw a wrench into things. Yeah, I mean, probably. He plays hardball, and he's, and I would say he's delusional, but he got the crazy contract for his client. Give him credit for that.
Yeah.
But did he handle it the wrong way? Sure.
I think everybody did, if you want the truth.
Everyone did. Everyone handled this poorly. Because Micah Parsons is a generational player. He was drafted by the Cowboys. They pretty much, I wouldn't say lucked into it, but they were very fortunate that nobody else saw that he was a pass rusher. They got him where they got him. He should still be here. It didn't work out, and he got his money. He's in Green Bay, but I think David Mulligetta, he did what he's supposed to do as an agent, but did he handle it the right way? Absolutely not.
No, I think it was all
the
a little
Cowboys.
dirty.
They all dropped the ball. They all dropped the ball on that one. So it's okay. It's all right though.
I agree, and that's what I said. So my real questions for today. Sorry, that was all long-winded with both of us. So we got 2 first-round picks coming from Green Bay. I don't know if we should spend them and get 2 people. Can you imagine if we get 2 good first-round people on our defense that we trade a pick for? That are that good, that are young enough to add for a couple of years. I don't even know if there's players out there. But if there were, here's the question. What 2 positions, assumingly from my point of view, I'd say defense, but what 2 positions on the team, if we added 2 first-round talents to, would get us over the top and take us to a Super Bowl and or good playoff run at least? I'll listen to it off air and let you cook.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you. I guess you're asking what 2 positions from the draft next year. I don't know. Defensive end. I mean, another pass rusher. If you can get, then again, you don't know where you're going to be picking. But I mean, if you can get a pass rusher, sure. I mean, they always say that. If it's a linebacker, great. It may be time to be looking at a safety. A safety that can kind of be a game changer a little bit. Sometimes those guys don't go too high in the draft. So you can get a really good safety. Just anybody, an impactful playmaker, catalytic type guy on defense could help you there. So I mean, defensive tackle, defensive end. Just get a good solid football player, especially on defense, because they rotate so many guys. So even if you think you've got a starter, you can still figure out a spot for him. All right, let's go to the phones lines again. Dylan, he's in Wichita Falls. Dylan, what's up?
Hey, Nick, what's going on, man?
How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Great.
I caught the end of that, what you were just saying there. I'm not listening live. Were you saying something about us drafting potentially a safety next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you have 2 picks, I think you're trying to get 2 good football players, and so really good football players, and I don't think anything would be off the table. Any position would be off the table.
Yeah,
on defense.
The last time we took a safety in the first round was what, Roy Williams?
I think that's right.
In 2002 or 3. I mean, that's a long time for us not to go take a high-end safety, but I mean, we always find a way.
Yeah, and that was the top 10. I mean, that was the 8th overall pick. So I don't know if they've drafted one in the second round since way back then. I mean, I could be missing somebody, but I mean, they just haven't drafted a lot of safeties that high.
Yeah, it seems like we always gravitate towards really physical safeties, like Donovan Wilson or J.J. Wilcox, really physical guys that come out of the box, but we just haven't had anyone that's elite just in the back end.
Yep, exactly. So what you got?
I was just kind of piggyback on kind of what I said last week. Last week I was saying I wanted to see Marquise Bell play linebacker, but I know that might be off the table now with Malik Hooker's injury. And how many more snaps do you think Shamar James is going to get? I know everything's getting pieced together on the fly, but I really do think we need more speed at linebacker.
Yeah.
Some of these things we're watching. I know Kenneth Murray struggled, and with Sanborn out now, which I mean, I know he's had a disappointing season, and we've all gave our piece about that. But, there's no one more disappointed in that than him himself. So, but I don't know. We got Shamar James and then Overshown coming back. Does Damone Clark get more playing time?
Well, I mean, he played in that last game, but I mean, weren't you asking for speed? I mean,
and he's not exactly the speed element there.
It's not, and the thing is, it's not even speed as it is just awareness, And I always remember this one video that I watched as a kid growing up. It was called NFL's Crunch Course. It was like from NFL films about hitting and all that. And I remember a quote that they would say about Dick Butkus, and he said, if you asked him to run the 40, it would take him 3 days. But if you went sideline to sideline to get the ball carrier, nobody was faster than him. And that just tells me right there that, football speed and awareness and getting to the ball is just much different than just going out and running. And so I think that's kind of what we're seeing with Sanborn and Murray and then some of the other guys, Leofau and Shamar James, I mean, they might fly to the ball. They may not be going the right way, but if they're getting there fast, they may not make the tackle, but at least they're there. So there's two different ways to slice that. Right now, their linebacker play is just not what it needs to be. We know that.
Yeah.
All right.
But the good thing is we have the grace with the defensive line play right now. So
right.
I mean, keep throwing things at it and see if we can't get a little bit more stability and a little bit more production. But
sure.
That's really all I had today, Nick.
All right, Dylan. Hold it down in Wichita Falls for me. All right, let's go to Savannah, Georgia. Sebastian.
Good morning, Mr. Eamon. How do you do?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Look, I woke with football on my mind, but I got something else on my heart, and this is going out to Randy in Texarkana, right?
Okay.
Randy in Texarkana a few weeks back said that he didn't want to talk about, the condition that happened, the curse that is cancer, because he didn't want it to get old. I'm going to tell you right now, it will never get old. Cancer is a curse that affects you no matter what color, creed, partisanship, no matter what you go through. But there's nothing more cowboy than beating cancer, facing adversity, and coming out with the win. That is what we want for this team. And as someone who lost somebody very special to me to cancer, I always have to collect myself because every morning I wake up not having that person hurts me. So every single time I see somebody is ringing that bell, I sweat from the eyeballs a little bit, not even going to lie. So I was so entirely happy to see that he made it, but never think for a second that is something. So here's the question that I have for you.
Hey, Sebastian.
Yes, sir.
You all right?
Yeah. No, every time we talk about it, it's rough. But here's the question I have for you.
All right.
Did you ever see or did you ever think when you came up with the storyline, when your pops told you, hey, create the storyliners, did you ever see it being a community like this?
No.
Because what you created, Mr. Eamon, is something beautiful, and I'm going to hang up and I'll listen.
All right, Sebastian. Hey, I appreciate it. Whatever you're going through today, I hope you get through it. I know everybody's got their thing. We talked about it the other day, but it is a community. It's amazing. And now, my dad had the idea, and we kind of talked about it, and I looked at like that Paul Feinbaum show and what he was doing. It's a little different. That's a little made-for-TV type thing, but it's kind of similar to that, just let you guys kind of rant. He actually called it the story linebackers. He thought it would be the story linebackers. You guys are backing the show, story linebackers. Storyliners kind of just took off. But absolutely did not think of what it would do to create like a community. I never would have dreamt that. And I think that you have to credit certain people for that. And Irene, Dylan, and there's others, and I apologize because I don't really know who all's doing what, but I know those are the ones that have really done a good job of connecting to everyone. Then a group went out to camp this year of 7. I'll be disappointed if it's not greater than that next year. And it's awesome. And I never would have thought that. Chris Beam will see some guys, and we've met people down at tailgates before at the stadium. He talked to a few people just the other day. It's awesome. It's a really, really cool thing. Never would have dreamt that. Just kind of want to get on here and let you guys talk about the Cowboys, and I'll throw in my perspective. But to take off the way it has. And, it's never probably going to be our number one show on here, our podcast. It's not. It's a niche show. There's probably some fans that don't care what other fans think. But for the ones that have, really locked in, it's better than I could have ever dreamt. So, Sebastian, thanks for talking about that, bringing that to light. And we just keep growing. I get excited when I see first-time callers, but I also get excited when the captains and the regulars call too, because it's a healthy mix of both. And speaking of, there is one of the captains, but not next. So let's go to Travis in San Antonio, another regular on here since day one. Travis, what's up, man?
Nick, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Yeah, it's great stuff. I never would have guessed the community would be this big. I've been tweeting, I've been tweeting Irene back and forth just now with some stuff, but just floating ideas and things. So it's always great. We're always in constant communication. So I was going to tell you, it is the number one show. I mean, the Cowboys break has been pretty fiery the last couple of days, which I tweeted to Derek and he liked it. But let's be honest, it's the number one show.
I mean, hey, you guys, everybody has their opinion, and here's what's awesome. Here's what's great about what Derek has created with all these storylines, which is which is the reason why Chris doesn't have enough sleep anymore. But it's that there are probably thousands of people out there that would say this show's number one or that show's number one or Talking Cowboys is number one, or Hanging with the Boys, and we got a show for everybody. That's what's great about it.
True.
This is the one that is a little bit more for the fans, and so that's why you guys you have a voice, and that's what's so great about it. And you guys are really educated. That's what's awesome. You guys are educated. You know what you're talking about, and you bring the A game all the time. So, all right.
Well, two things real quick, and I'll let you take either one off the air.
Okay.
I've been the first on this. I'm not the most overly religious guy, Nick, but I know Joshua came after Moses. And since this running game has been the best since running game Moses and Bill Callahan, I'm calling him running game Joshua.
Okay.
So I'm stamping that now. And then I heard Stephen Jones' comments yesterday about Overshown possibly coming back like right around or not too much later than possibly the trade deadline. So it got me thinking, Nick, just imagine, I think you believe that momentum is real and good vibes are real. Imagine the boost, depending on how the next couple games go, if you were to get Overshown to come back at that time and insert acquired player. We're not going to say names, but insert acquired player. Just imagine the boost that I think this defense would get, and that has me really thinking about not always giving up a first-round pick, Nick, but maybe just somebody that could possibly help. So let you go, and you guys have a great week.
All right. Thank you. I love it. Running game Moses was a nickname that I know I came up with for Bill Callahan, and I think Broadus has taken it. I don't know if Broadus has stolen it, that it's his, but it's definitely mine. But we talked about it all the time because he was he would just change the whole thing. I mean, he could resurrect the running game, and you're right, it hasn't really happened since then. So I guess he's referring to Clayton Adams and those guys at changing the running game. As long as you're bringing in a player that can make an immediate impact, and that's what happens at the trade deadline. That's why you do it. It can't be somebody you bring in and he's like, well, he's got to get, he's got to learn the system and it takes a few weeks and he's not used to playing this. And next thing you know, he doesn't do a whole lot for you. And then he hits free agency at the end of the season and you're like, was it worth it? So it's got to be somebody, if you're going to bring in a player, and even if you don't spend a first-round pick, second-round pick maybe, that's the position, that's the round that they're always taking risks anyway, so it would be a risk to bring a guy in like that. But, yeah, if you feel like the next few weeks that you're a contender, then go for it, and make a move. You don't have to make the biggest move. You don't have to lose one of your first-round picks. But if an opportunity comes where you can get a really good player, why not? All right, let's go to Irene in Falls Church, Virginia. We talked about her earlier. Irene, what's up?
Hey, good morning. So I didn't get to listen, but I know based on the last a little bit of what you're saying that running game Joshua was dropped by Travis.
Yeah,
it sounds like that's awesome. So looking at the Panthers, right? I'm trying to understand them. They're they're very up and down, kind of like us, but in a different way.
Are you talking about their history, or are you talking about this year?
Yeah, both.
Right. They made it to a Super Bowl, in the last 20 years, blah, blah, blah.
They did.
2
They
Super
knocked
Bowls,
us out.
actually. Yeah, but they haven't won anything.
Yeah. They have not. They have not. But
I will say this, though, before you get to your question. You said you weren't listening, but Sebastian had called in, and he was really just praising the community that's been created for this show, and I just I wanted to make sure that we give a shout out to you, Dylan, and everyone that's kind of helped do that and connect the dots all over the nation and the world for the storyliners, and so you get a big credit for that. I think Sebastian might be going through something today, but he called with a heavy heart, and it was good to chat with him. So.
Well, I'll check in on him because that is how I roll. So shout out to Sebastian, and of course I'll listen back to the show. So
sure.
But thank you.
Yeah.
So I was looking at them right up and down, and I thought, oh no, they have like 5 turnovers. But I realized that 3 of them came against the Falcons. And that was a shutout. That was just one of those weird games. Outside of that, they haven't had a turnover the last couple games. They did the first 2. So, I don't know that I'm afraid. I was a little worried about their defense. That's why I was digging in, but I don't think I actually am, unless, we have a fluky game, but that is what it is. But is there something I should be worried about on defense? I know we wanted J.C. Horn during the Micah draft, but outside of him, is there they also got the guy that we couldn't trade for, the defensive tackle.
Yeah.
He seems pretty good. Those are 2 concerns, I guess. And then I had a thought. It's not really captain related, but it's a completely different thing. I've always thought it would be hilarious to do like superlatives, like most likely to trigger a NFL collusion investigation or whatever, so that might be an idea on that. And then has Nico called in since we won? Because I really want to know if he's upgraded Shoddy's name. So that's it. I'll talk to you.
No.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. No, I haven't heard from him. As far as the captains go and all that, I'm up for anything y'all want to do or anything y'all want to have fun with different because storyliners and you guys starting to know each other real well and you've met and it's really cool. So whatever y'all want to do, I'll kind of put that up to you guys because I can't say I know that many people. Kind of can gauge who they are and what they're sort of like over the phone, but everybody's sort of different there. As for the Panthers. Any turnovers are going to always be are going to affect this team, any team, and so I think from a talent standpoint, Carolina's got some players, they got some ballers on defense. Got to be careful. You go on the road, all of that stuff. But Green Bay came in here with what looked like one of the best defenses in the league. They were dominating opponents for 2 weeks. They played the Browns. Their offense didn't do much, but their defense was really good. And then they come into Dallas, and we know what Micah's about to do, and blah, 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 and the Cowboys score 40. So without CeeDee Lamb. So if they can do what we've been seeing them do, I don't know what defense is really going to slow them down. So the best offense in the league right now. And they're doing it with 6 guys. 6 starters from the Eagles game. I'm going to say Cavante was a starter and not Hunter Lipke. I'm going to say that 3 receivers. I call him a starter. So, from that Eagles game, you had 4 offensive linemen, Cavante and CeeDee Lamb, that started that game and now aren't playing for you and didn't play this last game, and some of them haven't played in a while. And to be the number 1 offense in the league, that's a credit to the play calling, the offensive line, coaches, and everything. And then, of course, Dak and the running game and what they've been able to do. All right, let's go to break real quick on Cowboys Storyline. Be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, this segment is presented by Yeti. Officially licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops concession and on Yeti.com. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We're going to go to Kansas City. We're going to stay in Kansas City for a little bit, but we're going to start with KC Joe. He's in Kansas City. What's up?
Good morning, Nick. How are you doing today, sir?
Great. How are you?
I'm really good. I just got off work. Hey, I was wondering which receiver out of all the receivers out of CD, Pickens, Turpin, Flanoy, Mingo, and Tolbert, which one's the fastest? I mean, who has the best times? And I kind of think that I really think Tolbert might be heading towards the bottom of the list. I think Flanoy and Mingo may have beat him out.
You didn't put Turpin in there, right? I mean, Turpin.
Oh, no, I did. I put him as 3.
As the fastest?
No, which one do you think's fastest out of all the receivers? Who has the best time?
Turpin's number 1 for me. Turpin is the fastest. He's kind of the one that's not as much of a receiver as he is just let's figure out what to do with this type of guy. Now, he plays receiver. He runs routes. He's done a really good job there, but he's number 1 as far as speed goes. After that, man, I mean, I always get surprised by these kind of things. It could be Mingo, going out of the draft. I'm not really sure what any of their combine numbers were. Tolbert, just straight running. Flanoy though has got more speed than I thought he had. I saw it, and it wasn't even in this last game as it was the week before. They did a couple things in Green Bay, and I thought, I could just see how fast he was. He's a big, strong guy, but he can definitely move. I wouldn't be able to tell you that. I'm not sure. I don't think CD's up there among those guys as far as just straight speed. The thing about Pickens is, okay, he might have somebody might have a faster 40, but like catching the ball over the middle and trying to get 15 yards, that takes Pickens like 4 steps to do that. The stride is just really, really long for him. So, 20-yard shuttle runs and things like that for these receivers sometimes are a lot more important. Quickness, acceleration, all of that. It really comes down to G.O., get open. Jason Witten, he probably didn't run the fastest 40 time. He got open for 17 years. So figure it out. Get open. Speed is great. There's no doubt about it. It's a game changer. But, it's who can run the crisp routes, who can get open. Amari Cooper wasn't the fastest guy, but he's maybe one of the best route runners we've ever seen here. So there's more to it than just speed. That's another way for me to say I don't really know. I don't know who's the fastest, but I'm also trying to say that that's not the only thing that matters when you're talking about receivers. All right, staying in Kansas City, we go to Brian. Kansas City, what's up?
Hey, Nick, what's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. I'm doing good. Always good to see that we get a couple of back-to-backs. That's every once in a while. I'm always surprised when that happens. It's just
exactly.
There's only two of us.
Yeah.
So, hey, for this week, I was wondering, and I agree with. I think you wrote this article 2 weeks ago. Listening to people say, "What would you do? What would you do if you were going to do something?" I'm 100% on board with defensive end. We need a pass rusher. That's the only thing we can bring in that can be impactful pretty much right from the start. And even Clowney. Clowney took a week to get on board, It just, it depends on where they're coming from. If they're coming from another team, they should be ready. But knowing the scheme and all that. For this week, though, I wanted to talk about what do you think? A game like this, and Floyd's probably going to have another week where he's going to be in the mix. And obviously, Dak's got a ton of confidence in him. If he has another game at any point in the season, like he had this last week, does that give you pause about paying big money to Pickens? And I'll hang up and listen to that one, man.
Well, I have pause about that, anyways. You know what I mean? And it's there's nothing. I mean, I'm not to say that it wouldn't be worth it, but you just got to figure out what your team needs. What's the smartest move here? We've seen other teams do it. Philadelphia did it. I think Cincinnati, right? Now that's not a great example either. Their quarterback's banged up, but as far as getting the most out of your playmakers, having two guys and relatively younger guys. Maybe that's how they want to figure out the offense because they've already paid the tight end, and he's benefiting from this running game. He's benefiting from the play action. So I don't think it's a bad idea, but I don't know if Ryan Flanoy is going to be the reason why you do it or you don't. I think that Pickens is such a dynamic receiver, but I get the nature of the question is, if you have these younger guys here, you already paid one receiver, do you pay the other one? Again, let's just let this thing play out. I mean, it's early. It's early. They don't have to sign anyone right now, and I think gone are the days where you're trying to sneak something past anyone and say, let's just do it now, but wait till these agents. Nobody, think about it like this. No agent is a bigger fan of these players and cheerleader for them other than maybe their parents and their wife or whatever. But this agent, if anyone thinks that George Pickens is going to go out and score a touchdown every single game this year, he's going to have 100 yards every game, and he's going to set all kinds of records, it's the agent. So if the Cowboys were to call and say, hey, what do you think about just getting this done now and avoiding free agency? All right, well, we're looking at a guy that's going to have 1,500 yards, 100 catches, probably 12, 15 touchdowns, and make the Pro Bowl, first team All-Pro. What do you? Here's the price for that. And even though that's probably not going to happen, if it does, great. But that's what the agent does right now. So you come to the table right now, they're projecting the best. That's why it's not always easy to get some of these deals done right now. And one of our text questions, Mike from Boston, says the fact that Jerry has to deal with the same agent represented Micah doesn't mean anything. The Cowboys just signed Tyler Smith. He says he's represented by David Mulligetta. They're both smart enough to know that nothing is personal. It's always business. That's true. That part's true. It's always business. You got to remember, this agency, it's not just one guy. It's not just David Mulligetta. He's in the Athletes First organization, and I don't really believe that I don't think that Tyler Smith's agent is not Mulligetta's in there in that business, but it was more Todd France, Joe Panos, I believe. And Pickens' agent is listed as someone else. I think it's Andre Odom and Mulligetta. So, yeah, he's there, and they probably have some of the same rules and principles and things like that, but it's not necessarily the same guy. The only name we ever really heard out of Micah was Mulligetta. That's not necessarily the case. And even if it was, like Mike is saying from Boston, that, money is different for every contract's different. And Jerry even was asked that question. He said, I don't think he's that sensitive. I think he would to say that just because there could be hard feelings with this deal, that you're going to affect it over here, because you're not doing your clients the best service if you're going that route. All right, let's go JR in Avondale, Arizona.
Morning, Nick. How's everything in Dallas?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great weather out here this time of year.
What's the streak at?
I think it's like 9 days in a row.
It's awesome.
I don't know. It's weird because when I was on vacation while I was still working, I would call sometimes 200 times and never get through. So I don't know. I should go get a lottery ticket or something.
You got it rolling. I don't know if I've seen anybody go that much before. I haven't done it. I don't have like a storyline fact and record book or anything like that. I feel like Robbie in Cocoa Beach, Florida, had a streak one time, 6 or 7, but 9 seems to be the most. Let's just call it the record that's still going. So love it.
It's outstanding. I got a record. All right, so I was looking at the power rankings, and I get it. They're as worthless as mock drafts. But when I really went through and looked at all the teams that are ranked above the Cowboys, it's really that none of those teams, I don't think, the Cowboys would lose to. They could win all those games, except maybe the Lions. Now, the Lions look like the Lions again all of a sudden, but 2 weeks into the season, I'd have told you that Green Bay and Baltimore were going to be in the Super Bowl. But I don't think that if this offense doesn't scare other teams, it should, because it's just going to get better as long as number 4 stays healthy.
Right.
That's really the key. So I look for the Cowboys to stay at the bottom of the rankings, and that's just fine, because I'd rather be on the outside looking in and surprising people. And so I just want to talk about that. And then I had a question. I know Booker's not on IR, right?
Right.
And so you've got the Panthers game. Are we looking at that Washington game? Is CD, Turpin coming back? And I think that's possible because neither one of those guys are on IR either. Yeah. I guess that's something we're going to find out in the next couple of weeks. But is there a possibility that Booker would be available back for that game? I know they said 6 weeks or something, but
yes.
I don't. Or do we wait to see Booker after the bye week, which is like 4 more weeks? So anyway,
all right.
I just wanted to talk about that, and have a great day, and go Cowboys.
All right, thanks for the call. Power rankings mean absolutely nothing at all. It's just a thing for people to do that think they know stuff. The reason why I don't put a lot of stock into it is that it's hard enough to try to figure out rank your best 10 players here for the Cowboys. We're all watching this one team. Rank these guys here. And now to try to rank other teams around the league and all that stuff, just figuring out, trying to cover. I don't believe anybody covers the NFL. I really don't. I don't think anyone in the world covers the NFL. They get a lot of help. They get people that call them. We know the guys, but there's nobody that really covers the league. So to have a power ranking, nobody knows that. And also that it doesn't matter. This isn't college football where you're trying to bid for a spot in the playoffs. They got a formula here in the NFL that figures out who makes the playoffs. So it has your rankings mean absolutely nothing. And Tyler Booker, he better not come back after the bye, because if that's the case, you should have put him on IR. And I think he could come back. I think he could play this week. He might. He may not. But Washington's probably the game you're going to see a lot of these guys back. CD being one of them. Probably Booker. Maybe Tyler Smith as well if Tyler Smith doesn't play this week. We'll see about Turpin and Guyton. But I would imagine all of those guys should be ready to play for Washington. And if not, definitely Denver. after that. Let's go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back after this.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
Presented by Gillette. Got a few more minutes here. Let's go to the phone lines. Rick in Massachusetts. Rick, what's up?
Hey, Nick. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right. Couple of things. One is there was a question out there that says, what do you think is the most impactful pickup this year? All right. My thinking would be Jamal Williams.
Javonte Williams?
Yeah, Javonte Williams.
Sure. I mean, who are the options? Javonte Williams?
The only other person was George Pickens, but
I mean, I would, yeah. I mean, they're both great right now. I mean, Pickens, I would probably say Pickens has been the best, but Javonte Williams has been outstanding too, for sure.
Yeah, my shout-outs for last game would be that backup offensive line, and the Adams and Riley. And also Shoddy. The unsung hero of that game would be Ryan Flournoy.
Well, Flournoy played a great game. There's no doubt about it, and he looks like a guy that could be a really, really good player. Still young, still growing, but I still think he could be a really good player down the road.
And as far as if they may get back in or not, but I was going to say the Cowboys are going to beat up in Carolina. It's going to be like a 28-14 or something like that.
All right. You know what? I think Carolina's going to be better. I think they're going to play better than we've seen in the past, but I still think it's a winnable game for the Cowboys. All right. Thanks for the call. All right, let's go with another phone call here. Jeremy in Salt Lake. Jeremy, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Nick?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We're doing great, man. It was a great win on Sunday. Everybody's happy, honky-dory. Everybody's talking about all the positive things this week. Sebastian put a little lump in my throat earlier, but I'm good now. But, yeah, that was a pretty cool call. Anyway, I want to get to the running game, and this is something that's always been near and dear to my heart. I've said it on the Spaces. I've said it on here before. When the Cowboys can run the ball and run the ball consistently, all of our best teams all throughout history have always been good running teams. That's the way we win. And, having Javonte, these coaches, I don't know what the exact special sauce is, but having everybody together has really made a huge difference for this team. The biggest thing, I think, in Dak this year is he looks comfortable in the pocket. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes in the past, Nick, like, even when he'd get pressure, sometimes you'd see him press or be kind of nervous or kind of, just not as comfortable. And I think that's the biggest difference in this team for this year is just Dak's comfort.
Yeah.
It seems like he's kind of reminded me of Romo in those last few years. You know what I mean? It seems like he's finally hit another level and understands everything a lot better. And he's just the main word is comfortable. As long as we keep him comfortable, I think he's in the running for MVP this year. We'll get rid of all the Dak haters this year. But I think he's just been outstanding, and that running game is a big part of it. I'll get off. And thanks for all you do, and shout out to everybody, Sebastian, all those in the community, man. It's been great.
Yeah,
thanks
for sure. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for the call. And you're right. We haven't said this phrase in a while, but we should, because Dak friendly. Remember when they would use that term, about the offense and how the design of the offense. Well, that's what this is right now, and with what Schottenheimer has done. And I'm not saying that the other guys didn't do that. I'm not saying that's not what was it McCarthy's offense and all that. But I just think Schottenheimer has a really good feel for the fact that what Dak likes, what works for him. And remember, this is a first-year coach, okay? And so just like some of the others that you're seeing around the league, and you see the Ben Johnsons and Aaron Glenn's and all these others that are first-year coaches, but the difference is Schottenheimer was here. He was here working with Dak. He was the offensive coordinator. He was a consultant here. He knows the quarterback, and the quarterback knows him. So that is an advantage that you're seeing here. Yeah, he might be, new to the play calling and all that, but not new to the quarterback and what he likes to do. Let's go one more caller here. Chris in San Angelo is next and last.
Hey, Mr. Nick. Hope you're doing well today.
Good. How are you?
I'm well, buddy. Hey, love the vibe of the show today. I just wanted to add something real quick. As for me and the community, I'm not one that ever reaches out for anything, but I'll just add that if I ever was several people in this community, I would not hesitate. So I'll just leave that there.
Okay.
On the trade part, I would kind of wait. I like what you're thinking. What if there's a scenario where the Cowboys actually perform and play their way out of needing a major trade, with some of the guys getting better and some coming back? I was going to see what you thought about that, buddy.
I like what you're saying there. Thank you for the call, and thanks for the first part too. If that has happened, and it actually has, I know this. The fact that there have been relationships, friendships, bonds that are formed because of this show, then this is a better creation than we could have ever imagined. Okay, numbers and talking to you guys and all that is all great, but it doesn't really pale in comparison to that. And so if that's happening, then that's something we didn't foresee, but it's the best part of it, especially for people like Randy who have people, that reach out on him, and not just him, but others that are going through different things. You guys know that. You guys know each other better than I do. So if that's happened because of the show, then that's better than I could have ever thought. To answer your question, it's a good thought too, and we don't say this a lot. You kind of play your way out of a need. I think though that they would always say you always need great players, and if the situation pops up, just look at what the Eagles are doing. The Eagles get a lot of credit for the way they've handled things. They've been a good team for a while. Opportunities pop up, they go for it. Doesn't just because you have a good team and a good record and all that doesn't mean you don't go and try to get better. So. If they were to trade, and I know what you're saying, do we really need to trade a pick? Do we need that? You trade it if it's better than what you think you're going to get. If you're like, this guy is a first-round player, we can re-sign him. It won't be that much more on the cap, and we can go ahead and get a player and lock him up for 4 or 5 years. He's ready to roll, ready to make an impact, maybe better than getting a pick in the mid to late 20s. Then why not? and do it, especially knowing you've got another one. But it's got to be for the future. It can't just be to try to help you this year, and then we'll see after that. If you're doing that, if you're renting a guy, then you're not spending more than I would think of 4th round pick or something like that. All right, great show, guys. It's a lot of fun, a lot of good calls. To thank Chris McIver Beam for coming in and fixing. I messed up the headset. He comes flying in, does it. He's a pit crew guy. That's what he does. He can do anything, 10, 12 seconds, if that's a good thing. All right. Appreciate it. Good stuff. We'll do it again tomorrow here on Cowboy Storyline. See ya.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?